Greetings to all Africans at home and across the global African family. Today is Thursday, January 8th, 2026. My name is Akosua Prempe, and I am broadcasting from the United States of Africa, a platform committed to truth, African unity, sovereignty, and the collective advancement of our continent and its people wherever they may be. Families, today we bring you a very serious and developing update from Burkina Faso, where investigations into a failed coup attempt continue to reveal deeply troubling details. What initially appeared as a security alert has now grown into a major national issue involving planning, financing, coordination, and individuals from different social and professional backgrounds. As the investigation progresses, more information is coming to light, and the picture that is emerging is one that demands calm attention, careful listening, and responsible reflection. According to the ongoing investigation, this plot was not sudden and was not driven by public protest or popular unrest. Instead, it is alleged to have been discussed and prepared over a period of time, involving meetings, communication channels, and the movement of money. Authorities say the objective went beyond political pressure or disagreement and extended into plans aimed at violently removing the current leadership of the country. Families, this is where the matter becomes extremely serious. When political ambition turns into alleged plans for assassination and state destabilization, it is no longer about opinions or ideology. It becomes a direct threat to national stability, public safety, and the future of the country. In today's broadcast, you're about to hear a translated testimony from one of the individuals arrested in connection with this plot. The speaker identifies himself as a merchant and describes his alleged involvement, including meetings with political figures, contact with intermediaries, and the movement of large sums of money. He further claims that the plan involved individuals who had access to the presidency and that discussions included the possibility of killing the sitting president. Families, we want to be very clear. This testimony is being presented as part of an ongoing investigation. Allegations described in such statements are subject to verification by security and judicial authorities. Our role is not to pass judgment, but to present information responsibly so that Africans can understand what is unfolding and why it matters. What has shocked many people is not only the content of the allegations, but the profile of those said to be involved. The idea that elderly figures, business people, and civilians could be connected to such a plot has raised serious questions about impunity, financial backing, and the networks that sometimes operate behind the scenes of political power struggles. Families, this situation forces us to ask deeper questions that go beyond one individual or one event. Why has the current president been under pressure since the moment he came to power? Why does any leader who speaks strongly about sovereignty, independence, and national control of resources often face resistance, not just from outside forces, but sometimes from within? And why do attempts to chart a new path for African nations so often come with destabilization efforts rather than open dialogue? Many citizens believe that the tension surrounding this case is linked to broader issues of sovereignty. Burkina Faso, like many African nations, has a long history of external influence over its political, economic, and security affairs. When a leader begins to challenge old arrangements, question long-standing dependencies, and prioritize national interest, that leader inevitably disrupts powerful interests. Whether those interests are foreign, domestic, or a combination of both is a question that Africans are now openly debating. Families, another important element in this case is the issue of example. History shows that when one African country attempts to assert greater independence, others begin to ask questions. They begin to wonder whether a different path is possible. They begin to imagine a future where African resources primarily benefit African people. For those who benefit from the status quo, such thinking can be seen as dangerous. Before we play the video, there is one statement made by the speaker that deserves reflection. He speaks of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful and deeply human concept, but forgiveness does not replace truth, and it does not cancel accountability. Nations, like individuals, must confront the truth of what has happened in order to heal and move forward. Families, as you prepare to watch this video, we ask you to do so with a clear mind and a thoughtful heart. Listen carefully to what is being said. Separate emotion from information. Consider what is alleged, what is known, and what remains under investigation. And remember that instability in one African country affects the entire continent. Before the video plays, we also ask you to support this platform by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this broadcast. Your engagement helps connect Africans everywhere, strengthens unity across borders, and ensures that African stories are told by African voices. Families, we will now play the video. Watch carefully and form your own judgment.
My name is Elhaji Madi Sakande. I am a merchant. In 2023, I went to see former President Damiba, and we had a discussion. In 2025, I went to see former President Damiba again. During our second meeting, he informed me of their intention to stage a coup d'etat to seize power. He explained his desire to regain power and asked me to see how we could help him achieve his objective. Upon my return, I went to see Elhaji Wimega Ali. He is a merchant who lives in Zinyare. He explained to me that he has a grandson named Salif, who works with the president and who was also involved in plotting acts of destabilization. He told me that with this person on the team, the objective could be achieved. Elhaji Wimega gave him my contact information. He called me and we met. When we met, he told me that he was ready, and I told him to call President Damiba and that as military men, they would know how to proceed. Immediately I called President Damiba and handed him the phone. Damiba asked him what he could do from his position in the context of a coup d'etat, and Salif reassured him that he could kill President Ibrahim Traore. And since he is with the president every day, he could accomplish this task without any problem. He called President Damiba a second time, and they spoke again. In the meantime, I went to pick up the money in Côte d'Ivoire, 70 million CFA francs, $125,000. When I returned with the money, President Damiba called me to tell me that there were 2 women and a man who would be coming to pick up the money. He told me that he had arranged to meet them at the TSR bus station, that I could send someone or go myself, and that upon arrival, the women on scooters would wave to me. When I arrived, a woman did indeed appear on the left side, waving to me. I met her and gave her some of the money, and then another woman came, and I gave her some money as well. I asked them where the man was. They pointed to a man who was leaning against a double-cab 4x4 vehicle. When I reached him, he also made a hand gesture and took the money. The total amount I gave to the 3 individuals was 40 million CFA francs, $71,000. Afterward, I went back to Elhaji Wimega's place to see if he and Damiba had reached an agreement and how much I owed him. It was while we were discussing this that they came and arrested us. While we were waiting to be apprehended, Elhaji Wimega's grandson arrived with a vehicle containing weapons. He asked me to come and look, but I refused because I'm not so.
The man you just heard is Elhaji Madi Sakande, a merchant, and his story is detailed. He says he met with former Burkina Faso President Paul-Henri Damiba, who's currently in exile in Togo, not once but twice, and on the second meeting, Damiba allegedly laid out the plan, a coup to retake power. Now, here's where I need you to pause and think with me. Is it fair, just from one man's words, to conclude there's a foreign plot? The honest answer is, not yet. We need more evidence. But, and this is a big but, Sakande's testimony creates a very dangerous link. He describes Damiba as the point of contact, the one giving instructions, the one who sent people to collect 70 million CFA francs. That's over $125,000. So ask yourself this. If this is true, who is Damiba talking to? Who is behind Damiba? This leads us to the core question everyone is asking. Why does Captain Ibrahim Traore seem to have a target on his back?
Let's break it down.
Since Traore came to power, how many coup attempts has he survived? Several. It's a pattern, and every time the narrative is the same: instability. But what if the source of that instability isn't just local? Let's talk briefly. If foreign powers are discontent with Traore's political ideology, his stance on sovereignty, his economic policies, his partnerships, what's their easiest move? They can't just invade, but they can allegedly use a former leader in exile with his own grievances as a proxy. They fund it, they guide it. Their interest? To bring back a government that aligns with their interests, not necessarily Burkina Faso's. This is about control of resources and regional influence. Make no mistake. Now, let's analyze the most shocking part of this testimony, the role of Salif. This is the key figure. According to Sakande, Salif is a grandson of a merchant, but crucially, he works closely with President Traore. And what does he allegedly offer? He says he can assassinate the president because he's with him every day. Now, to everyone watching, you need to understand this critical distinction. This reveals two terrifying possibilities, and the investigation must find out which one it is. 1. Was Sif a mole for the plotters? Was he genuinely inside Traore's circle, feeding secrets out, waiting for the moment to strike? If yes, the security breach is catastrophic. 2. Or was Sif a double agent, feeding Traore's intelligence team? Did he pretend to join the plot to expose it from the inside? His bold offer to kill the president could have been a tactic to gain the plotters' ultimate trust, to get them to reveal everything. This is the most concerning part. This single individual's true role is the difference between a devastating security failure and a brilliantly executed sting operation. We simply do not know yet, and that's why further investigation is not just important, it's everything. As more arrests are made, more interrogations happen. The full picture of both local ambitions and foreign hands will be revealed. So, what should we, the public, be watching for next? 1. The official response from Togo, where Damiba is exiled. 2. The fate of Sif. Is he under arrest? Is he a witness? His status tells a story. 3. The money trail. 70 million CFA doesn't just appear. Who funded it? This entire situation is like a pressure cooker. The heat on Traore's government is immense, from both inside and out. Before you go, I want to hear from you in the comments. 2 urgent questions. 1. Based on what we know, do you think this is primarily a local power struggle, or does it have the clear marks of foreign destabilization? 2. If foreign involvement is proven, what does this mean for other African leaders pursuing similar paths of sovereignty? Please, if this analysis made sense, hit like, share this to inform your family, and subscribe. We stay informed together.